This is Andy Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Zhilei Zhang over Zoom. Zhilei, firstly, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. And obviously, we've got Kurt in the room. It's going to help translate. Kurt, always good to see you. How's life treating you?
Likewise. Likewise, Andy. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Gilles, another big fight for you, Joseph Parker. Uh, how relieved are you to be able to go into another big fight? You had a brilliant year last year, 2 victories against Joyce, and now you have the opportunity with another big fight against Joseph Parker.
你觉得这样一直以来打大赛对你来说有好处吗？
有好处，有好处，因为我喜欢打大赛，我喜欢打强者，所以说，我希望一直保持这样的有实力的对手与我去竞争，因为这样也可以奉献精彩的拳赛给拳迷看精彩的拳赛。
I always love big fights. I welcome big fights. It doesn't make sense to get this interim fights. I'm somebody who's stronger when I face strong guys, and it's good for me personally. I think it's good for the boxing world, for the audience.
The last time we spoke, Gilles, was right at the beginning of the year, and we spoke about Joseph Parker, but there was a lot of talk at the time about a potential fight with Deontay Wilder. What happened with that, and how did you end up with the fight with Joe Parker?
今年早些时候还在说你有可能跟维尔德打，那场比赛为什么没有打成？为什么会突然换成这个帕克了呢？
没有，那一场比赛也只是在网络上在说，然后我们也没有收到任何通知，我们也不知道，然后就在网上有些媒体，然后就在传这件事情。到最后是我们的推广人，然后包括我的经纪团队，然后告诉我帕克可以和帕克比赛，我说 OK，我说没问题。
The Wilder fight was never actually materialized. I think it's more of an online talking. Everybody was fantasy about that fight. At the end of the day, it was my team telling me Parker's on board. So good, let's bring it.
Joseph Parker is a man similar to yourself in the sense he will fight anybody. He obviously has been very active. He's shared the ring with the likes of Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, Joe Joyce, your former opponent. Obviously, he's facing you now, and of course, Deontay Wilder last year. You will face anybody yourself. How refreshing is it to go in the ring with somebody who just wants to fight the best?
你跟帕克也挺像的，帕克也是来者不拒啊，约书亚、乔伊斯啊，这都打，你也是来者不拒。你觉得这种强的对抗，或者是两个勇士之间的对抗，这样的会给观众带来怎样的体验呢？
因为观众想看到强对抗，想看到两个强者去竞争，所以说我们也为了我们自己的目标，为了我自己的梦想，然后我们的目标是世界拳王，是打到顶峰，所以说你在通往这个道路上面，你会遇到强手，所以你要把一个强手打下去，这样你才能变得更强。所以
I
说
think it's
我
a pub. Yeah, go ahead.
所以说我们也愿意这样做，然后观众、全迷也希望看到这样的比赛。
I think it's public demand because the fans want to see the best fighting the best. The market want to see that. So here we are offering this fight to everyone. And at the same time, for me personally, I believe that only by fighting those tough guys can get me through different challenges and make me better. And I can achieve my goal one day.
Gilles, that goal, ultimate goal for you is to become a world champion. This is a fight with a lot of risk, with the exception of the financial element. Why take this fight knowing you are so close to potentially fighting for a version of a world title?
这场比赛其实也带来一定的风险的啊，帕克也是具有一定的能力的。那么对你来说呢，其实是存在着一定的不确定因素，存在着一定的风险。那你觉得你马上就要挑战世界拳王了，这时候突然来一个这么样的风险，值得吗？
这对我来讲不算是什么风险，因为帕克确实年轻，速度快，有饥饿感，然后一直在活跃在拳台上面，然后最近的比赛打的都非常精彩，然后所以说他的实力也非常强劲，当然对我构不成威胁。所以说我们强大，所以说任何人对我构不成威胁。
Well, I think I look at it differently because I really don't look at this fight as a potential risk. Obviously, I have to respect Parker for his past experience and his activity in the ring, and he's standing up for everybody. I have to give him that credit. But at the same time, I look at it like that motivates me to train harder and become a better version of myself. With that said, I'm not looking at anyone as a potential risk.
Parker was stopped by Joe Joyce. Obviously, you've stopped Joe Joyce twice. Does that give you more confidence that you can kind of take comfort or confidence from those performances and that defeat for Joseph Parker and the way that you was able to deal with Joe Joyce? Does it give you more confidence facing him?
乔伊斯把帕克给 KO 了，你把乔伊斯给 KO 了。那按照这么来说的话，你是不是对帕克更有信心呢？
乔伊斯 KO 帕克是因为乔伊斯给了他很大的压力，然后从身体上的压力，包括精神上的压力，然后最后导致帕克精神崩溃，然后所以说被乔伊斯 KO，然后我 KO 乔伊斯是因为我的实力在这放着呢，对吗？然后所以说马上我要对帕克的比赛马上就要开始了，所以说我当然我有这个能力，我也有这个信心去复制乔伊斯打帕克的那样的比赛。
I feel like the knockouts, when Joyce knocking out Parker and when I knock out Joe Joyce, it's different because what happened with Joe Joyce is he has non-stop pressure and he has a relentless attack. He was going after him. And the end of the fight, he wore him out. Me knocking out Joe Joyce is like it's like a quick move, and that proved my ability. So going to that fight, I believe it's not rock paper scissors, but I'm confident that I have the ability and I'm capable to knock anyone out if I want to.
With that in mind, then, how do you expect to see Joseph Parker approach this fight with yourself, Zhilei? After, for many people, he produced a career best performance against Deontay Wilder.
那帕克其实对很多人来说都打得特别好了，那他其实前几场也打得特别好。你觉得他这一场对你会采取什么样的战术呢？能不能提前预测一下？
我不知道他会对我采取什么战术，我对他的战术就是我会根据他的战术而改变，他需要他会用什么战术，然后我就会去演变什么战术，就是这样的，没有说单一的一个战术。
I don't know his approach because each fighter will have different strategies going to that fight, and I don't want to predict his approach. But I do have an approach, and I can tell everybody is to adapt. And whatever he brings to the table, I will definitely have an answer to it.
When I ask people within the industry about this fight, Zhilei, there's a saying in the UK, and it's called you have to pull the splinters out. And by that, it means people are sitting on the fence, a wooden fence, and they can't decide who's going to win, either you or Joseph. So the fence is leaving splinters in their backside. What's the difference in this fight for you? What makes you believe you are the favorite?
很多人在业内哈，在英国特别是拳击圈的人都觉得这场比赛呢，你跟帕克他们都是墙头草，就感觉谁好稍微有点优势，或者突然优势又没了，谁稍微有点优势，就挺平均的。那你觉得你跟他在哪个方面你会比他强？
我感觉我各个方面都比他强，因为我的整体实力都比他强，所以说我们就拭目以待3月8号的比赛。
Oh, I'll put my word here. I feel like I'm a better fighter all around when it comes to all the boxing aspect. But we will see March 8th.
When March 8th comes, does this fight end inside the distance, in your opinion, Zhilei? Will you stop Joseph Parker?
那3月8号你会提前终止比赛，还是会打满呢？
我还是那句话，我不希望我把比赛结果交给裁判，我会把结果牢牢的控制在自己手中。
Well, like I said, I'm not going to give it to the judges.
One final thing on it all. When you rematched Joe Joyce, everybody was talking about your left hand throwing that and how Joe Joyce had to be wary of it. In the end, it was the right hook which caught him, which stopped the fight. Do you feel like people pay too much attention when they prepare for you for your backhand?
你跟乔伊斯的二番战啊，所有人都说你的后手打得好，后手，那突然 KO 他的是你的前摆，那你觉得很多人就会看你的后手，会防着你的后手，忽视了你的别的拳吗？
会，我的2个拳都很厉害，所以说每一次出现，我们的每一次出现都会不同的我。第一番战，一番战，然后乔伊斯说我的后手厉害，然后二番战说我的前摆厉害，所以说他到底他也不知道我哪个拳厉害，所以说马上跟帕克的比赛肯定会让大家眼前又一亮，然后又出现一个不同的我。
This is what I want to be, unpredictable. Because in the first fight, everybody saw my left hand, my backhand. The second fight is my right hook. I feel like for every fight, I want to present myself differently. I want to bring something different, so people will be like, "Oh, he's doing something new again." So that's my approach.
Zhilei, if you're successful, where to next? You've obviously got Fury Usyk on the horizon. Joshua Ngannou is obviously the headline fight on your card. What next for you if you beat Joseph Parker?
如果你成功了，觉得下一步会怎么样呢？因为弗里和乌西克马上就要打，然后呢，约书亚和纳甘诺又是你的主赛，你觉得预想一下，成功之后会怎么样？
这个我没有想过，然后也不想去预想，因为我们现在把所有的精力都放在帕克上面，等打完帕克之后，然后至于下一步打谁，然后有我的推广人，有我的经纪团队，然后有教练团队，我们整个团队去协商去下一步的计划。
Honestly, I never thought about it because without beating Parker, without the victory, all of this means nothing. I feel like that's my priority and that's my main focus. And after that fight, me and my team will sit down together and we'll see what's next. But right now, my focus is Joseph Parker.
Just to get your thoughts on both of those fights before I let you leave, Zhilei. Joshua and Ngannou, obviously a lot of people expect Anthony Joshua to deal with Francis Ngannou comfortably, but there is that risk factor. We saw how he performed against Tyson Fury. What do you make of the Anthony Joshua Francis Ngannou fight?
能不能预测一下约书亚跟帕克这场比，约书亚跟纳甘诺这场比赛呢？因为很多人觉得约书亚应该赢得很轻松，那你觉得呢？
大家可能感觉很轻松，然后但是他的技术肯定要比纳甘诺要好很多，然后但是纳甘诺的抗击打能力他不要忽视，然后纳甘诺的重拳也不能忽视，所以说还是要谨慎一点，然后小心被纳甘诺的重拳打到。
I know why everybody's thinking Joshua would take this pretty easy because I believe that when it comes to boxing, Joshua has the experience, he has the skill, and he has the boxing advantage. But Ngannou has a chin and he can punch. That fist can end any fight. So I would say Joshua has to approach this fight with cautious. He has to pay attention to his defense.
但是我也希望最终胜利还是属于约书亚。
But I really hope Joshua could pull this off.
And then my final one, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, delayed now because of the cut suffered by Tyson. Just on that note, and as you are southpaw as well, if you was in that position Alexander's in now, if you was going to fight Tyson Fury, would you target that eye? Would you try and get it to split back open during the fight? Do you think that changes people's minds or opinions now heading into May 18th?
那现在泰森·弗里这个眼睛的伤啊，你看是个老伤复发。如果说你是乌西克，或者你就是跟泰森·弗里打，你会去着重看他这个伤，会去瞄准他的这个眼睛的位置，让他再产生这个困难吗？
应该会，因为知道他的弱点在哪里，你肯定要抓住他的弱点在哪里，去专门去攻击他的弱点。这是每一个拳手，每一个对手对待比赛的都会是这样的。
Yeah, I think that's what every possible Tyson Fury opponents will target at because when you find a weakness, you target the weakness. And that's very obvious. He has this cut from an old injury, and anybody in that position will try to target that.
What weakness does Joseph Parker have, Zhilei?
那帕克有什么弱点，你会去攻击他呢？
我不知道他有什么弱点，到他的弱点只能到拳台上面之后，到比赛的时候我去发现他什么弱点，然后我就会去攻击他的弱点。
Well, that takes a while for me to find out in the ring. I'll find out, and I believe when I find out, I will target that too.
Zhilei, I appreciate your time. I'm going to leave you now to enjoy the rest of your day. Good luck with the rest of camp, and I'll see you in Saudi Arabia.
祝你训练营好运，然后沙特阿拉伯再见。
Thank you, Andy.